All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about a piece of technology that's, believe it or not, over 50 years old. But here's the thing. It's probably more important to our world today than it has ever been. It's like this invisible giant running silently in the background of just about everything we do.
I mean, just think about that for a second. That's some serious range, right? We're not talking about some old, forgotten bit of code. We are talking about the foundational layer that connects the phone in your pocket to humanity's biggest adventures in space.
So, what is this hidden force? This language that has been the backbone of tech for decades without most of us even knowing its name?
The answer is C programming. Yeah, I know, it might not have the same buzz as Python and JavaScript these days, but as you're about to see, C is the absolute bedrock that so much of our digital world is built on.
So to really get why C is still such a powerhouse, we've got to go back. We need to look at its origin story, which starts, of all places, at the legendary Bell Labs.
The story here is just incredible. It all kicks off in the early 70s with a guy named Dennis Ritchie, who basically just needed a better tool for the job. Pretty soon, C gets its big break when the Unix operating system is rewritten in it. And boom, it proves how powerful and portable it is. But here's the real kicker. C's core ideas, its DNA, are baked right into the languages that millions of us use every day, like C++, Java, and even Python. And now here we are in 2025, and it's as critical as ever. Okay, so that brings us to today, and to what I like to call C's hidden empire. It's running in plain sight, but because it's so fundamental, it's basically invisible to most people.
Let's go on a little tour, shall we? Let's uncover all the places C is working its magic in the tech you literally use every single day.
First up, the very heart of your computer or your phone. You know, the operating system. If you're using an Android phone or you're browsing the internet, which runs on millions of servers powered by Linux, you're using C. Even on Microsoft Windows, the core parts and the drivers that let your computer talk to its hardware, yep, that's C. And it doesn't stop there. C is all over the physical world. Think about all those little smart devices. The computer that controls the engine in your car, C. A life-saving medical device like a pacemaker where failure is not an option, you bet it's C. Your smart thermostat, your security cameras, they all need code that's super efficient and reliable. That is C's specialty.
And hey, for all you gamers out there, C is the unsung hero of your favorite hobby. Big-time game engines like Unreal Engine use C for all the really heavy lifting, the stuff that needs to be lightning fast to render those amazing graphics and physics. And the code that runs deep inside consoles like the PlayStation and Xbox? A whole lot of C.
Okay, now this is where things get really wild. C is so fundamental that we use it to build the tools that run other programming languages. That's wild, right? The compiler that turns your code into a program? Probably written in C. The core engine that runs Python? It relies on C to be fast. C is literally the toolmaker for the entire software world.
And finally, C is what powers the flow of information itself. Those huge databases that store all our data, like MySQL, their core engines are written in C for maximum speed. Even more basic than that, the fundamental rules of the road for the entire internet, the TCP/IP stack, is all C. It's the plumbing of our connected world.
So we've seen where C is, but that leads to the real question, why? What is C's secret sauce? What gives this one language so much power across so many different critical areas?
While the first big ingredient is its direct line to the processor. See, C code compiles straight into machine code, the computer's native tongue. Think of it like this. There's no translator in the middle slowing things down. It's a direct conversation, which means you get absolutely blazing fast speed. And the second ingredient is control. C gives programmers something we call low-level access. Here's an analogy. Most programming languages let you drive a car with the steering wheel and pedals. C lets you pop the hood, get your hands dirty, and tune the engine yourself. This incredible fine-grained control is why you can squeeze every last drop of performance out of the hardware.
So when you put it all together, you get this killer combination. You've got unmatched speed, total control over the machine, portability to run pretty much anywhere, and the flexibility to tackle almost any kind of problem. That's the formula. That's what has kept Siemens on top for over half a century.
So this all leads us to the final, and maybe most important question. In a world full of shiny, new, and often easier-to-use languages, why does C still matter so darn much in 2025?
It really all comes down to a trade-off. When you look at pure performance, C is just in a league of its own, sitting right there close to the hardware.
Newer languages like Python and Java made a different choice. They prioritized being easy to use. C makes you a different deal. It asks more of you as a developer, but in return, it gives you raw, unfiltered power and speed. They aren't really competitors. They're just built for different jobs.
And that power comes with, the other side of the coin, a steeper learning curve. Things like managing memory by hand. It takes more skill. It's a tougher mountain to climb, for sure. But the view from the top, that ability to control the machine at its most fundamental level, is completely unmatched. So, back to the big question. Is C still relevant? The answer is a massive, emphatic absolutely. For any job where speed and efficiency are everything, in our operating systems, our cars, our medical devices, our internet infrastructure, C isn't just relevant, it's absolutely critical.
And hey, if this whole explainer has you intrigued, the path to learning C is totally doable. You just start small, really focus on getting the core concepts like pointers down, use the right tools, and dive into all the amazing open source C code that's out there. The community and the resources are there if you're ready to take the plunge.
So, I'll just leave you with this final thought. We always get so excited about the newest, shiniest thing in tech, right? But what if the most important language isn't the trendy new kid on the block? What if it's the quiet, powerful, 50-year-old foundation that's been holding everything else up this whole time?